Hey guys, it's Cerulean and Jake bringing to you another episode of Pikmin 2. Now, I know this one was long awaited, and I only recorded one episode in my first recording session. But that's because things were a little bit rushed. I have a little bit of time on my hands now, so let's get a few episodes done, shall we? So, in the last episode, we did the tutorial, and in this episode, we're going to do pretty much the same thing. It's not exactly scripted, per se, but day 2, it should go about the same way for everyone. You can technically spend multiple days on this because you do get the classic Pikmin timer that you always have. That said, I mean, everyone should be able to get through this without a problem. That right there was just teaching you that you can pull your Pikmin out from your onion. Oh my god, what a novel idea. So let's bring him out. So what we're going to actually do is we're going to play with Olimar, and we're just going to leave Louie here. And the reason for that is that we're going to leave him here, and we're going to swap to him. That way we can just immediately start plucking Pikmin, while everyone else is getting stuff done. So, whoops, wrong button. So right there, that's just a very minor example of being able to multitask, is you could just leave one captain right here. Oh, that didn't get moving. You can leave one captain right there at base to just start plucking Pikmin whenever things get back. And then, whenever you're waiting for things to get back still, you can swap back with whatever Pikmin you still have and continue working on whatever it is you're working on. Now, that doesn't work super well on this day because there's not a whole lot to do. It's a lot faster if you just take both captains and pluck Pikmin at double the speed. So that is what we're going to do right here. Now that we got these 5 pellets back, realistically what we need to do here today is just make sure we populate the red Pikmin as much as possible. And then we have 36 Pikmin. This should be plenty to depress this bag here. I believe it's 35 required. Yep. Perfect. So now we have our first enemy of the game, classic dwarf red Bulborb. So we're just gonna toss something directly on top of it and get an instant kill. Just like the last game. And also, just like the last game, we have the adult spotted red Bulborb. So what we're going to do is same strategy. Just round up our Pikmin and then bum rush, followed by a couple throws. Maybe a couple punches to help out, and then he is down. Now, as you'll recall, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Did I do that right? No, I missed it. 1, 2. As you will recall, in this game, the idea is to get treasure back instead of parts. So this doesn't look like a ship part, so this must be our second treasure. Now, we definitely don't have enough Pikmin to pick it up because we are transporting these back. We're going to leave Louie back there at the wall. That way, when it gets done, we can immediately round up those Pikmin. With Olimar, we're going to head back to base because not only can we pluck out some Pikmin, but this candy pop bud has actually sprouted. And we can go ahead and transport this back. There we go. So, as I was saying, this isn't scripted like the first episode, or the first day, rather. But, I mean, it's just such a simple day with so few things to do that it should go the same for everyone. There realistically shouldn't be any differences. Even new players should be able to get everything done this day, just in one day. Now, maybe if you're so new and you really just don't understand how to play this game, maybe you lost so many Pikmin to that red Bulborb, like you don't know the bum rush strategy. Maybe in that case, you might have a problem. and you won't be able to pick up the treasure. Because I believe the treasure requires 30 Pikmin, something like that. So if you lost that many, then maybe you might have a little bit of a different day. But it's not a big deal, because you don't have to pick up this treasure on the first day. It'll still be here when we eventually return to this place. 35, actually. So yeah, you do need to maintain some of your Pikmin numbers. So we're just going to max out on this, try to get it back as fast as possible, and throw the rest of them over there on that wall, get that going just a little bit faster. Realistically, 4 Pikmin isn't going to make a huge difference, but we did go ahead and get it done. So right now he's just telling me the basic controls, which I feel he should have told me earlier, but I guess they didn't want to overwhelm you with tutorials, and I can appreciate that. It is better to just let players kind of explore and have fun with the game before you start, you know, just telling them everything at once. Though sometimes basic controls get left out of tutorials, and I feel like those are, like, that's the first thing. You should absolutely do that first thing if you're gonna do it at all. I remember watching Sequelitis back when Aaron from Game Grumps was doing his own channel, Ego Raptor. He had this little animated series called Sequelitis, and one of the big ones that he did was, I think it was his most popular one. He did a game called Mega Man X, really old school game. So if you're a youngin', you may have not heard of that one. It's a really well made game, and I don't believe it has any tutorials. It just throws you into the game, says good fucking luck. The thing is, it actually works out just fine, because the tutorial level that it puts you in, and with so few buttons that you have available to you, you just kind of figure things out on your own. And games that have few buttons and few things to do, that's okay to do. But games that have button combos and stuff like that, you just realistically can't. Moving on to what we're actually talking about here, we should be talking about the caves. So this little hole here, we can jump down it and we will end up in a cave. Now this is new to Pikmin 2. The Emergence Cave. Now, a couple things that you should note about this screen. That there are 4 little, I don't know, nodes or whatever. 4 little symbols up there that are kind of blacked out. Those are the hazards that you will be finding in this cave. Now, you'll notice that they are all blacked out, so there will be no hazards in this cave. And that's a good thing. It's a nice little starter tutorial cave. It also tells you how many treasures you have currently obtained from the cave. We have 0. And it'll tell you how many Pikmin out of the Pikmin that are on the field are entering the hole with you. Any Pikmin that is in your squad will join you, so if some Pikmin are scattered around, they will just be sent back to the onion. So you don't have to worry about losing them. Now, something really important to note, every time you enter a sub-level, and yes, caves have multiple sub-levels, every time you enter a sub-level, it'll save right before. If anything catastrophic ever happens, you are free to restart the game, and you will pop up right where you left off. I'm sure we'll be seeing more of that later. Anyway, let's go ahead and skip through this dialogue because, just being completely honest, as fun as it is to do the voices for these things, this is all completely unimportant dialogue because I've pretty well covered it. What we want to do is we just want to go ahead and start collecting these treasures. Now, these are white spotted dwarf bulborbs. I may have added one too many words in there to describe them. But they are exactly like the red dwarf bulborbs, so don't worry about that. Just tackle them the same way you know how to deal with dwarf bulwarps, and everything will be fine. Spicy ginger ale. Now, something else I do want to note. So we're going to go ahead and pick up a couple of these corpses. May as well just pick up all of them. They should arrive around the same time. So these big items that aren't enemies, these are things that you can take back. These are treasures, and they will count towards paying off your debt. These are the things that you want to take back. If you're attempting to be... if you are attempting to be quick about it, if you're trying to not necessarily speed run the game, one of the things I noticed that I just say way too much in Pikmin is the word efficient, so I'm trying to say that less. But it truly qualifies for what I'm saying here. If you're trying to be efficient, then don't bother with the corpses and bringing them back, because if you take it back, he's going to freak out and say, they're not really worth much, but I'll store them. And he is telling the truth, because every time you get a little corpse, 2 coins, that's it. Pokos, I believe they're called. They are not really worth anything. The only thing that's going to realistically progress you in any speedy amount of time is the treasures. So just focus on getting the treasures. That's all that's important. If you feel like picking up some enemy corpses, well, have at it. There's nothing wrong with picking them up. It ties up your Pikmin in doing something else when they should be busy with something more important. So now it will tell you when you are on the final floor. Very helpful tool. Now, it's not as helpful for this cave, but for later caves, you will see just why that is super helpful. One of the things about final floors is that they will almost always, I'm pretty sure they always have it, but I just want to cover my bases and say almost always, they will have a key item where you will find it and you'll do a little cutscene and say, aha, this is important, make sure you bring it back. Problem though, this looks pretty big, doesn't it? And if you were paying attention to what was just said there, yeah, even 100 Pikmin can't lift this thing. So, looks like we're just going to have to come back to the Valley of Repose and keep farming red Pikmin until we get... Oh, wait. The cap is 100, so what's going on here? Don't worry, we're going to answer that question right now. So we're going to head down here. Let's go ahead and get all of these guys out of our way so we don't have to worry about them later on. And then we're just going to start throwing Pikmin as fast as we can, just aiming if we can. Get some knockouts. Even if we don't get the one-shots, eventually it'll just kill them. Now that all those are out the way. What are these? Wait a minute. It occurs to me that earlier I said the wrong word. These are candy pop buds, not the pellet posies that I was supposed to say earlier. This is a candy pop bud. But it's not the same as when we were playing Pikmin in the last game. Usually they only come in red, yellow, and blue because those are the colors of Pikmin. Now, hold on a minute. Could that mean the Pikmin on the cover of the box? Do they exist? Well, enough being stupid. Yes, we have new Pikmin. We have the purple Pikmin. Easily the most broken Pikmin in the history of the Pikmin series. Now, I understand. I do understand that with the inclusion of Pikmin 4 and the fact that it's so new, it is kind of hard to say definitive statements like that because maybe, you know, maybe we just haven't judged it quite right just yet. We haven't judged all the Pikmin to see maybe one of them is better than this, but it's hard to beat. You know, I can't say this for certain. You might be able to beat this game. Not 100%, but you might be able to beat this game using exclusively purple Pikmin. I don't want to say that as matter of fact, but it is entirely possible that that is true. So we're gonna go ahead and leave, I guess, Olimar, because I hit the wrong button. We're gonna leave Olimar over there, and we're gonna run over here. We will explore what purple Pikmin are fully capable of later. Right now, what you saw there and how we were able to pick that up, purple Pikmin are... They have the strength of 10 Pikmin. Yes, this is how you escape caves. It's a little geyser, so we're just gonna skip through that and continue what I was talking about. Purple Pikmin have the strength of 10 Pikmin. So, for that reason, what you'll find is that, it makes it a lot more efficient to just throw one purple Pikmin at an item that would normally require 10 Pikmin and just have them take it back on their own. So that's a pretty cool aspect about purple Pikmin, but they have a whole lot more to them that make them incredibly good. And we'll get to that in the next episode, because we are running up on the end here. I'm not going to end it just yet. I have a few more menus to go over. But we are pretty much at the end, because we have completed this hole. It will tell you all the items you got, as well as how much the corpse costs that you cashed in. And it'll also tell you how close you are to paying off the debt. So lots of cool information there. It tells you how well you did. We're going to go ahead and save the game, and we're back in the Valley of Repose, and the game is scripted to just end your day here. So even though all of these pellet posies have respawned, too bad, we're done here. Off we go. There is nothing else to do. So I am very much looking forward to getting further into this project and showing off everything that purple Pikmin can do, because it is shocking the amount of things. If purple Pikmin were in Pikmin 1, it is shocking what they would be capable of accomplishing. But once again, we'll have to get to that later as we blast off, making way for the next episode. As we look at today's report, again, we see how much money we've made, we see how many Pikmin we lost or gained. Oops, I went back and stepped forward. We get a nice little flavor text email. Pause if you want to read, because I don't care. So in the next episode, we shall be traveling forward to a brand new area, the Awakening Wood. See you guys then.